morning sunshine, rocking the good time with all our friends. Easy and carefree, out in the summer breeze, loving a simple things for hours on end. Right about sundown, we lay on the ground, count on the stars as they come out one at a time. Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey everybody, I'm X Factor winner Tate Stevens, and welcome to the Sweet Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from music, sports, food, entertainment, and, well, just living the sweet life. Hey everybody, Tate Stevens here, and as always, along with me is AJ Kronk. Yep. Anyway.
If you guys could only hear the conversations that go on before we start this thing. That's where the real gold is.
It is. Yeah. Maybe we'll put all that together for one thing. Anyway, we're talking today bucket list stuff, now personal and professional. So, yeah, stick around. All right. I have, I've been, I don't know, I have a bucket list of stuff. I don't want to call it a bucket list. I just want to call it a list of things that I would like to do before I die.
Okay. Fair enough.
I've done a lot of the things that were on that list to begin with. I've got to do a lot of stuff. But there's just a few things personally and professionally that I want to do before I go. You know?
Sure. Absolutely.
So a lot of people have these lists, bucket lists. Let's call it a bucket list for, because that's what most people call them.
Yeah.
But they have their bucket list of things. And I would say most people do. And I've heard people's list range from literally eating foods from other countries that just wanted to try foods from other countries.
Yeah.
To skydiving naked from an airplane. You know what I mean?
Kickstart my heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's been like so many things in all in between that stuff. But, yeah, I have a few things that I like to do.
Yeah.
And like I said, like which most people do. I've got to go and do some really cool stuff personally and professionally. And so my list has some professional stuff and personal stuff in there too.
Right on.
I don't really separate the two, if that makes much sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of things I do in my personal life, it's me.
Well,
so
I mean,
kind of my professional life too.
Bucket list is a bucket list.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But, again, it's kind of cool to hear people's bucket list sometimes because how different they are.
Yeah.
And my wife, I don't know. I don't get it. I'm a dreamer. I'm that guy. You know what I mean? I'm the cart before the horse. I'm a dreamer. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And my wife is so not
very practical.
She's just, And I think, now I will say that she likes to say that I spend money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to go off on a big tangent about it, but she's, every time I turn around, there's some new little trinket or something that she's bought or got, or she's talking about different. And I'm like, hey, but we're spending money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel bad when I fuel up my truck because it's $150. You know what I mean? And I'm like, golly. But, I don't know. She came home with a new Ninja bullet mixer thing.
Those things are awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, we have a blender,
It's not the same.
She's like, I know, but this has the little attachments for the individual in case we want to make like frozen drinks and stuff. And I'm like, all right, alcoholics, settle down. Man, we don't drink smoothies here, but so
apparently you're about to start.
Alcoholic smoothies. So anyway, so my bucket list, from hers, obviously it's completely different. She's like, my bucket list of things to do is I would love to spend Christmas somewhere in a snow-filled city with Santa Claus, for the kids. And she can't wait for her grandkids. And I'm I'm like, we just got rid of our kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're barely a year and a half into this whole empty nesting thing, and you're already bored, I guess. Yeah. I'm like, golly. I'm just getting going, man.
Yeah.
I'm just getting comfortable walking around naked in the house. Pretty cool. Anyway. No, so my
That's why
bucket
I always
list...
ring the doorbell.
That's why all the doors are locked all the time. Yeah. So I would start my bucket list personally. And I know you can go do this stuff. Almost everything on my list you can do on the personal side of it. Like I said, I wanted to scuba dive, and I did that. We became certified divers, so we've gotten to dive all around the country, or all around the world actually now. And so that's pretty cool. So that was one of the things that was on it. But a few things that are still, I want to dive with a great white,
okay,
or orcas, killer whales.
Okay.
But I don't want to be in a cage. I know that sounds dumb, but I would now with the great white maybe be in a cage.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But with the orcas, but I see people diving with them, and they're okay. They don't get eaten, you know. But the orca thing, I wouldn't want to be in a cage. I think that would be, it wouldn't, it'd kind of ruin it. I just want to be able to dive with them and swim with them and stuff like that, because they are the biggest apex predator in the ocean.
Well, sure.
And they kill great whites. They kill all the other things that would, mostly harm people. Mm-hmm. They can kill it and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Because they're way too smart. but anyway, so that's one of those things that I want to do. I mean, I've got to swim with whale sharks. That was amazing. Those things are like school buses. That's how big they are. They're crazy big, and you're just. Yeah. We were in like 600 feet of water with them.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and just out in the middle of in the ocean, in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you couldn't see land in any direction, and we're just out there swimming around. No life jackets, no nothing. The guy was like, "Go, there they are, dive in, dive in." So Hayden and I just dove off the boat and swimming as fast, as hard as we could, and that thing swam by us, and it was effortless for it. It was just cruising. We could hardly keep up with it, swimming as fast and hard as we could.
Yeah,
just to swim with it for a little bit. And pretty cool though.
Yeah,
so
man.
That's a thing that's on my list. I think that's one. What about you?
Well, I'll just get this one out of the way because it's the most cliche. Skydiving. Okay.
Oh,
I've never been skydiving.
Me neither.
I've always wanted to do it, but just it's never came up, I guess.
Yeah, there's a place up north of the river.
Yeah,
skydiving.
There's a place in Harrisonville you can do it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You live in Harrisonville.
I know. I've never done it. I don't know if it's still, there's a small airport in Harrisonville.
Yeah.
And at least they used to.
Used to go from there. And that's one of the things that's on my list, skydiving. Here's the thing though. I don't want a tandem jump. I don't want somebody.
I think you have to first.
I know you have to, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to jump out of the plane.
Yeah.
And I want to pull the chute when it's time to pull the chute.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, just having somebody strapped to me, and then it's kind of like an amusement ride. You know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, well, whatever.
You got to pay your dues for the big payoff.
Yeah, but then, once you do it a few times, then it's like a couple, you dive. I can't remember. I think it's multiple times you have to jump with an instructor.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like a thing before you can actually go by yourself.
Yeah.
Even if it was a static line jump where I just run out and my chute pulls automatically, on the static line. Even if that was all I could do by myself, I'd still want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it has to be amazing.
Yeah.
It has to be an amazing feeling.
Mm-hmm. Just free falling.
Yeah. I mean, static line, you don't really free fall because as soon as you leave the plane, your chute opens.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of floating down.
Still, I mean, that would still be pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I would do that if they're like, okay, you can't just dive out and pull your own chute. If you want to dive out by yourself, you got to go on a static line. I would do it just because it would be by myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird like that. But
yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a good one. And I think a lot of people, I think skydiving,
it's on just about everybody's bucket list
because it's dangerous and because it's one of those things that you see 1,000 people doing.
And I want to rob a bank.
That's
That's also on my bucket list. Hit the old First National
on the way out of town.
Pass a note.
Yeah. Can you imagine seriously robbing a bank?
Well, working in banking for as long as I have, I've been in 2 bank robberies. So,
but was it just like
you didn't even know they were going on until they were gone?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It wasn't like the movies where people come flying in the door with machine guns, and,
right?
President's masks on,
right? Unless somebody's really just trying to stir up a ruckus, they usually just pass a note saying, "Hey, I have a gun. Put all your money in this bag."
And then they hit the little button to call the police immediately, and then they're taking their time filling the bag, and then here come the police, and then the guy takes off running.
Yep.
I'd much rather just, if I was going to rob a bank, I would want to do it with a like in Point Break where they got
the president's mask on.
Just come running in as Ronald Reagan. Yeah. Not to hurt anybody.
I'd do better than that. I would wear the masks of those who lost the presidential elections. Or a Bob Dole mask.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be a good one.
A Hillary Clinton, a Mitt Romney, a Dukakis mask. Do they make those?
Dukakis.
I was thinking about this last week.
A Ross Perot mask.
Big old ears sticking out.
Like mouse ears on.
Well, it's so funny. Things you forget. Yeah. I said Mitt Romney a while ago. I remember the first presidential election that I remember was Bush and Dukakis back in the 80s.
Right.
And then you had Bush and Clinton when he lost to Clinton. Then you had Clinton and Bob Dole.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then after that, you had, was it Al Gore and George W.?
Yeah.
And then after that, it was John Kerry, George Bush, and then Barack Obama. And I could not for the life of me think who in the world he ran against. But it was Mitt Romney, wasn't it?
I don't remember if that was that him that. Oh.
No. John McCain.
McCain. That's
and
right.
then his second term was against Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of that the other day. I was like, man, that hasn't really, I guess, really been that long ago. No. And I just could not. I had to Google it to figure out who it was. And yeah. Somebody's calling you.
Hey, somebody's calling. Should I let them in? It's my daughter. Hold on. Anyway, what were we talking about? Shoot. The president's the last election.
Just stuff you forget or whatever.
Yeah, and that's true. I don't think anybody will forget the Trump Biden race.
Yeah, nobody's going to forget that. Nobody's going to forget the Trump and Clinton race.
Yeah, that was.
God, wasn't that just a disaster?
It was bad from the beginning.
Yeah,
I mean, immediately it was bad.
It
didn't start. Oh, okay, it's good and it's going to be okay. It just started, and it was downhill from the day it started.
Yeah,
it was bad.
I knew I needed to vote. And I was like, you know what? I guess I'm going to vote for Johnson because I don't like either one of these people. No, you can just tell. Everybody's like, oh, Trump's for the common man. It's like, that dude doesn't give two rips about people.
Yeah,
like, I mean, come on, man.
Who knows? He might at the end of the day.
Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful.
But he can't really, I don't see him really connecting, having any connection with the common man, the common working man. Obviously, it's a lot of work to run $billion businesses.
Well, sure.
You know what I mean? So he understands the work, the ethic of the work.
Right.
But he hasn't had to scrape for too many meals.
No,
you know what I mean? He hasn't lived paycheck to paycheck in a while.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next on your list?
I had skydiving as well, just because I was saying, and I know you can do this too. I want to drive a NASCAR. I want to drive a race car. I know you can go to Kansas Speedway and do it. Well, I don't know if you can do it anymore. I know they used to do the Richard Petty experience.
Yeah.
They'd let you in a car and you'd go. I think you had like 10 laps or something like that. And you went through the training and the little driving instruction, and then they'd turn you loose, and they had a pace car, and you kind of had to stay with the pace car. But I think they said 130 was about as fast as you'd go, which is, it's fast, but that's, I mean, I don't know too many people who haven't gone 100 in their vehicle.
Yeah.
So, but just, I don't know what it would just be. To me, if you could go almost 200 miles an hour in a race car like that and get up, you know what I mean? And come 3 wide, 4 wide in that corner. And oh my God, that'd be cool.
That'd be something.
I mean, just thinking about how close you are to each other, close you are to that wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a big danger in that too.
Oh, yeah, obviously. You're going that fast, even though you're in a protective cage with all the, as much protection as you can have in a car, But, I mean, just...
Race car crashes, what's the one that sticks out in your mind?
I mean, Dale, obviously.
Dale Sr.?
Yeah. There was a bad... what was his name? It was a Indy car, and it flipped over on its top, and he was it was basically shaving his helmet down on the asphalt until it came to a stop.
Wow.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
Even though the car is built, it has the little head protector, but I mean, just the way it smashed down and everything, it was just like, dude's head was about to come off. Yikes.
That's nuts.
Yikes.
The last Brady Bunch reunion episode they did, old Bobby Brady got paralyzed from his race car crash. Was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
They'd put ramps in that house and everything.
That's weird.
You believe that?
No. The Brady house. That was for sale a few years.
Was it really?
Like 10 years ago. Yeah. Because a lot of those houses were real homes.
Yeah.
In neighborhoods. And they would just take a picture of the front of the home.
Yep.
And use that as the facade for the house. And
all that turf out there.
Yeah. And it was, it was for sale. And there was another house. Oh, the one in Family Matters, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the townhome.
Yeah.
Is it Family? They had the townhomes, and they were all together.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting on the front porch or on the steps of the front.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah, that one was for sale. That house was for sale.
Way cool.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well.
Weird, but anyway. Yeah. So funny car or NASCAR, driving a NASCAR. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Going 150 plus miles an hour, just getting it. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's see here. One of my next ones is to record in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
Just anything.
Anything.
If a buddy of mine's like, hey, I just paid, $15,000 to go record a few songs down in Nashville. You want to go play guitar, bass, or something? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So then I could say, yeah, I went down to Nashville, recorded on this dude's album. Recorded on this dude's album, just kind of did. Yeah, do a lot. Yeah, he just went down to Nashville and,
had to cut my gig up in the studio. How many tracks you play on? He just it was just that one, but
the bridge. I played the bridge.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, you know what? That might happen probably sooner than you think. You never know.
You think?
Yeah, maybe so.
Well, who knows?
Another thing on my personal list is I want to drive a Top Fuel funny car. I want to launch.
Is that the ones where the clowns get out of it? Funny car?
No. The drag cars, man. I just wanted.
Oh, so RuPaul, like that kind of a thing. RuPaul.
No,
you said drag car.
Yeah, drag racing.
Oh, I was way off.
Yeah, you were way off. So I want, just a Top Fuel funny car, man. They launch harder, faster than the space shuttle.
Yeah,
they launch faster than rockets, dude. Quarter mile, you're doing over 300 miles an hour in a quarter mile. That's ridiculous.
Isn't that something?
Just. Nah, you're gone. You blink and you're a quarter mile down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why. Just sitting in that little, you see him and it's like, shaking.
Yeah.
And then once those tires light up and they take off, it's like, yikes. I would probably crash it into the wall, but but anyway, it would be cool.
Yeah.
That's one of my things. That has been on my bucket list for as long as I can remember. Mm-hmm. To have on, just to drive a Top Fuel funny car in a NASCAR. Those two things. Yep.
Well, next on my list, and I'm really going in no particular order, but trying to go back and forth between personal and music stuff. I'm, I guess I can preface it. I'm like the kind, like if I get into something, I'm like
in it, all
the way in it.
You jump in with both feet.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, obviously stuff with my Bronco, I'm loving it and do all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Or I guess it was 2020 when the pandemic started.
2019.
Or 20, 2020 was the first full year of all the mess.
Right.
We went out and bought bikes, like bicycles. And we're like going every weekend and all this kind of stuff. And I discovered like the Katy Trail. It comes all the way from St. Louis all the way down to like Clinton, Yep. And I told myself, I was like, one of these days I'm going to bike.
You're going to ride
Trail.
I'm 150 miles or no? Is it 150?
Oh, it's something like that. It's something crazy.
Yeah.
But it's I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna get like a little trailer for the back of the bike because it's all pretty much flat for the most part. Give me a little bike, put a little tent back there in it, a little pop up tent so I can whatever, and just go take an Amtrak all the way up to St. Louis with
your
bike.
Yep,
and
then get out.
They do that. Apparently, they do that.
Apparently.
And so do that, come all the way back, have somebody pick me up down in like Clinton or wherever. And I've always wanted to do that. Just to say I did it.
I think my sister-in-law did that. I think her and my father-in-law, they got into running and biking and all that. So they did, I think that's what they did. Something crazy like that. If I had a motorcycle, I'd do it.
I rode to Nashville on a motorcycle from Harrisonville to Nashville through a rainstorm.
That's terrible.
Oh, it's awful.
Was that on your big bike you had?
Whatever, 100th anniversary Road King.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. I mean, even on my CVO, that I had, my Ultra Classic, after about an hour on a motorcycle, you're like, this sucks.
Should I just go ahead and turn back?
I'm just going to go ahead and pull over and get off and walk around for a little bit because, and I even had the backrest and I completely grandpa'd that bike out, man. It was awesome. It was so, but it was comfortable. For a motorcycle, it was really comfortable. But there's a buddy of mine used to ride to Alaska from Kansas City, Kansas to Alaska.
That's stupid.
Yeah. No, that's what I told him.
What an idiot.
Yeah. And he did it, I think, multiple times. And I'm like, why? Why? I never understood, but it was nuts. I'm like, why are you doing that? I think his dad did it with him one time too. I was like, I don't, they didn't have he had a touring bike, but his dad didn't. His dad just had like a sport bike, kind of, not like a crotch rocket bike, but like a sport style bike. It wasn't like a big touring bike.
Would you ever hear Johnny Dare tell stories about when he rode down through Mexico? Like they just kept going south and south. Finally, they got to the point where like authorities didn't really go to anymore.
Oh boy!
And started seeing some weird stuff, so they kind of busted a U-ey and started heading back north.
Well, yeah, I think bike rides were great. Motorcycle rides were great.
Sure.
I wanted to ride down to Eureka and ride through that area. It's beautiful down there. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful just driving through a car. So being on a bike would be really cool too. But doing the Dragon's Back or whatever they call it, Dragon's Tail, Dragon's Back, that'd be cool. Mm-hmm. So there's some places that I would like to go, but I would haul my bike there. Now I'd ride to Eureka because it's only a couple hours away.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But like the other ones are, a day drive.
Sure.
Going up to the Black Hills, just riding in the Black Hills, in South Dakota.
Yep.
I wouldn't ride up there. I'm going to trailer my motorcycle up there and then get there and then ride.
After about 35, 40 minutes of riding, 70, 75 miles an hour with the wind hitting you, it's just like, I should have brought a trailer.
I should have just drove. We rode from Louisville to Marion, Illinois to do a show.
Yeah.
And it was only, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or something like that. Neat little ride, though. It was a good little ride. And Black Diamond Harley Davidson brought a couple motorcycles for us to ride. Whoever wanted to ride. And I rode a street glide. I think Darren might have had a street glide too. I think we both had street glides. They brought us up. And we were the only two that wanted to ride. But it was a good ride. Just being somewhere different. You don't see every day. But yeah, once you get out on the interstate, you're just like, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Going. But anyway. All right. So was that yours or that was you?
Yeah, that was me.
So, okay. Now on my more of a professional, my more professional list, I've got to play the Grand Ole Opry several times, that was always on my bucket list as a little kid, even just to be on the Opry. And I've got to do that several times. I've got to tour with some people. I've got to go out on the road with some people and do short stints with people, with Craig Morgan for a week. And you know what I mean? So just like here, Alan Jackson for, a week, that kind. It was just like little stints with people.
Yeah.
I want to do a complete tour with somebody. You know what I mean? Just go out.
I think Garth owes you a favor.
He does. He really does.
Screwed us last year on that show.
He really did. That was bad.
Freaking Garth.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But I just want to go out and do a complete tour, whether it's 20 shows, 60 shows, whatever it is, start to finish. I just want to do one just to see.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, just to see what it's about. To be out like. Doing arenas. Yeah. Doesn't have to be stadiums. It could be big theaters and arenas. It could be smaller arenas like the one here in town. I don't care. But that's just one of my bucket list things, to be out on tour with an act and to really tour with them and not just do a handful of shows, here and there with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just to go out and be out. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, man.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, you kind of hit on what my next thing on the bucket list was play the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
That was always like, if I could say I played on the Grand Ole Opry, that'd be pretty smoking deal. But
it's for everybody. It's different.
Sure. And I'm sure just like anything else, it's once you do it, you're just like, oh, is that all it is? It's like, well, not like, is that all it is? But
no, I don't remember them. I don't.
You're so stoned.
I was so high. By the way, today is 420. Today's the 4th, right?
What's 20?
No, what am I thinking of?
Today is May the 4th be with you.
Oh, May the 4th be with you. What am I thinking of?
April 20th?
April 20th. God dang it.
You're a little late. You're a little late.
Yeah. I thought it was, oh, yeah. Yes, it is. May the 4th be with you. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah, it's my cousin Steven's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Steven.
Yeah. He's probably out on the road trucking right now.
Being in the truck.
As his podcast drops.
Yeah. What's crazy is just seeing that playbill right there. That was my first time on the Opry.
Yeah.
And June 8th, 2013. Golly. Wow.
9 years ago, almost.
Yeah. That's nuts, man. Charlie Pride, Connie Smith, Mel Tillis, Jimmy C. Newman, George Hamlin, Maggie Rose, Roy Clark. Roy was still alive. Mike Schneider. Scotty McCreery.
Walk in the country
Gene
with
Shepherd,
me.
man. Yeah.
Gene.
Yep. I was in. It was so funny. Was it that time or the next time I played the Opry? We we ate at a chicken place right there by the Opry. And what the hell is it called? Cock of the Walk or something, chicken place or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it wasn't, the food was okay, you know, it just sounded good. So we went there before the show, and Mikey, we get in, we go in, and they like, Tate, you're in the dressing room, whatever. And I'm like, okay. So we go, like, I said, Michael, I got to go to the bathroom. He goes, me too, dude. That chicken is not good.
It's go right through, yeah.
Oh, it did. And so the whole time we're in there sitting, you know, in stalls next to each other in the bathroom and just killing it in there. And I'm like, oh, the door. Every time the door would open up, I'm like, man, this poor, you know, here's another Grand Ole Opry star about to choke, you know, because it was bad. And we came out. I waited till everybody got out of the bathroom, and I came out, and I was like, came out fast, you know, and
didn't even wash your hands or nothing.
No. We just kind of wiped it on my pants and. No,
so gross.
No, yeah, but we oh my God, just had to sneak out of the bathroom, and I'm like, golly. And yeah, anyway. So
yeah.
That was one of those kind of things. I don't know. So another bucket list thing for me, more on the professional side. I want to collaborate with Garth. Do something with him. Do a song. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I just think it'd be cool. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know why?
No, I mean, I don't know why him.
Awesome.
I mean, but I don't know why him specifically, as far as, you know, I don't know. I think that would be awesome. To do a song with Garth.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. I mean, I collaborated with Little Big Town on Pontoon. That was cool. So bad. It was so bad because I felt bad because they wanted to change. They wanted Little Big Town to record it, like re-record their song, and to fit the show's need.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I literally, I was the one that they were like, well, you know, they were kind of like, they didn't want to make waves, you know, and I'm like, nah, it's not going to happen. We're going to use their track.
And for some reason, it just had to be Pontoon, right?
Well, yeah, because that was the hit they had at the time. Pontoon was their hit at the time. So, and I fought for it, and I said, no, they're not doing that. I said, listen, these people, they don't need to change their stuff for this show. And they were like, well, we don't know sound wise if they're, and I said, dude, these guys are, no way.
Yeah.
No. And so they were like, and then they were like, yeah, it would be really tough for us to kind of redo anything.
Yeah.
So if I get it, if we can't even do it, we understand, you know. And then they were like, okay, you know, then they agreed to it, and they were like, okay, what about the key? Is it in the right key? And I'm like, I'll do it in their key.
Face red like a tomato out there.
It was just during the choruses.
Yeah.
That was the only thing.
The rest of it's registers a little bit
fine.
lower. It's doable.
Yeah, it's fine. And I just
it's that's up there.
Waves and catching rays up on the roof. It was bad. I'm like, golly. Maybe we should have dropped it a half step. They say. But the things
I got an app for that.
Yeah.
can help.
Yeah.
Can help with that.
Yeah. So anyway, other professional things, I don't know. Like I said, I think for me, playing the Opry was pretty much the peak. It was like the pinnacle of what I could do as a country artist, you know. Maybe being a member, a Grand Ole Opry member would be cool. That would be a thing.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, okay, I can quit now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't need anything else.
Yep.
I'm a Grand Ole Opry member, that kind of thing. I think I'd be good. And then, I could drift off into Neverland, you know.
Heard that.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing on my bucket list is this isn't like an actual thing, but I always say go on the Dave Portnoy pizza tour.
Hey.
I used to have that app. It's like One Slice or something like that.
Yeah.
And like you could just look up any pizza place and it would give you his rating.
His rating
if
on
he's
it.
been there.
I like it when he gets kicked out of them places.
Yeah. Then he just throws their pizza on the ground.
Yeah.
I give it a 0.
It's so good, dude. Oh my God. You know, that guy, talk about a guy who made something out of nothing.
Yeah.
The Barstool Sports thing and all that. I mean, just figured it out.
Yep.
And kept at it. And man, that thing blew up and you know. Yeah, anyway. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing with and you know, my bucket list will probably change. You know what I mean? As I get older and things get marked off, you know, I just don't know that I'll ever be able to drive a funny car because I don't think that's a thing. I don't think people just let you drive their Top Fuel drag car. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if the 10s of 15s of our listeners can hook that up,
maybe somebody in there. Yeah. I don't know. Skydiving, I could probably do that. I could pull that off. I could probably pull the NASCAR thing off. I think I could pull off the diving with a great white or a killer whale or something. I know if you go to New Zealand, that's a big thing in New Zealand to dive with the orcas in New Zealand. And they have a thing. It's a video of a kid. He's kneeboarding in the ocean. Yeah, and he fell off, and so the boat's circling. Well, a killer whale's circling him as well as the boat. Yeah. And the killer whale goes and just swims by him and rolls over on its belly. And the little kid's like kicking it. You can see he's kicking his feet, and this killer whale's just swimming around him. And then he grabs the rope and it starts going. Well, the killer whale starts going with him, and he's swimming, you know, like playing. I was like, that's pretty awesome. He's not trying to eat him. He knows it's a person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, this isn't food. This is just, you know, something I might be able to play with here in a minute.
Dude.
just a guy. And he's a killer whale.
Yeah. Well, so did you see in the news, old Dave Chappelle got attacked on stage?
I saw that.
And Chris Rock was there. He jumped on the mic and he goes, "Was that Will Smith?" Yeah, it's on the...
Oh, no. Yes. Okay, so I saw what I read of that was the guy came up or came from the side. I don't know if he came out of the crowd or came from the side of the stage and tackled him. Yeah. And then, of course, security and Dave Chappelle's people jumped on him and pulled him away. And then they pulled him backstage. Like, they pulled him off the stage. And then they were, you know, kind of roughing him up on stage a little bit as they were dragging him off. But then Dave Chappelle made a comment like, yeah, that old boy's getting... I wouldn't want to be that guy. Yeah. Right now. Because he's getting worked in the back.
Well, I mean...
I don't blame him. Yeah. You know.
You got to know what you're getting into.
I'll be honest with you. This is the scary part. Will Smith... like it or not, I believe set a precedent. Yep. And because nothing happened to him right away, not saying that he's not going to get sued for $200 million by Chris Rock in a week or a month or a day or whatever. Because nothing happened right then, he got away with it. And people see that. Days like the next day, the day after that, people were heckling comedians, and I heard it's on YouTube and all that. The comedians like, look, dude, you come up here and try to smack me, I'm not Chris Rock. We're fighting, or I will hurt you. Yeah, I mean, and I think that's unfortunate now. Because now comedians, musicians, I mean, it's kind of always happened in the music world, especially in the rock world. People jump up on stage like, you know, and then somebody just tackles them, gets mowed down. You know what I mean? But I unfortunately, I think that it's a thing now where artists and comedians are going to have to be really, really careful. Yeah, and they're going to have security. Yep. on the ready.
Yeah. I mean, really?
I think people are, and here's the bad thing, and I could be completely wrong, and I hope I am, but I think you're going to see people maybe being shot on stage.
Yeah.
As far not the actor or comedians or the entertainers, which that happened to,
sure, and that's been happening.
But that's happened before. But I'm saying the people attacking them, from security officers and people, you know what I mean, and the comedians themselves and the entertainers themselves. I mean, it's a scary thing. You're vulnerable.
Yeah.
When you're on stage, you are vulnerable to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on stage playing music, you're not paying attention to the crowd per se, as far as people climb. Now, if you see somebody climbing up on stage, you can divert your attention to that. But if you got your back to them and you don't see it, and they get, you know what I mean? Yeah. Who knows? It's just
it's unsettling. Very unsettling.
It's unsettling. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
That,
I mean, people already feel entitled enough.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and it's quite a different world than, the big stages that they're doing. But dude, I mean, I'll be playing a gig. Some like drunk chick will walk up and just like grab my microphone and try to like start singing or talking or something. It's just like, oh no. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah.
Get down.
Get down.
Years ago, when I was in the Dixie Cadillacs, we were playing a festival, and we were doing 2 sets, like 2-hour sets or something like that, in a beer garden area. Well, people are drinking. The kids of the town were drinking. They were getting beer from their older brothers and family members and stuff like that. Yeah. So there was a lot of underage drinking going on, and just everybody was hammered for the most part. It was a little, I can't remember where it was. And we took a break, and everything was great. Everything was going good. Well, it was weird because something else was going on when we first started, and there was only like, let's say 40 or 50 people there. Yeah. When we first started. So we were playing, and I'm like, and contract said we do 2 shows, if you want to call them, 2 sets. Yeah. From 7 to 8, and from, or like 8 to 9 and 10 to 11 or something like that, or whatever it was. Yeah. And so on our break, we took a break, and there wasn't and then, so people were mad. They were like, you're supposed to play, and our contract read, we play from here to here, but every flyer and everything that the people sent out said we were going to play to midnight. Well, people weren't even getting there until like 10, 11 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? So it was full when we got on our second set. Yeah, it was full, and I'm like, hey, we're done. Well, then the fair commission was like, hey, we're going to give you an extra, so much money. Can you play another set? Sure, we can. Yeah. So we take a little break, and like 15 minutes. We're just going to take a small break. Yeah. And during that little break, we're getting a drink and everything. I look up, and there's people on the stage grabbing our guitars, trying to play our guitars and stuff. And I'm like, instantly I freaked out. Yeah. I run up, I'm like, no, I grab my guitar, put it down, grab our guitar player's guitar, put it down on the stands and everything. I'm like, oh, you guys got to go. And they're like, who are you? So I just started pitching them. I literally just started throwing them off on their heads on the ground. And I'm like, and they're kids. They're like high school kids. And I was roughly just out of high school. I was like 19, 20 years old. And these kids are 18, so they're about I'm just throwing them off the stage. Well, they get up pissed off, wanting to fight. So I'm like, okay, throw up your dick beaters. Let's go. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm good. And so I come off the stage. Well, there was a sheriff or a county sheriff there, and they were the security. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you get these kids, man. They're drunk. And then they got mad at me because I was calling people out. And then our guitar player came up, and basically everybody's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And yeah, it was just bad. And then the fair people, they were all pissed off because they were like, "What's going on with you?" And I said, "These kids were on stage. I just chucked them off the stage. Didn't hurt any of them. They just I just shoved them off.
Right.
And so, anyway, we started to play our last set. And about halfway through it, just people are mouthing and saying, so I'm just like, I'm done. I'm going. I'm leaving. We stop, start packing up. People are, freaking out. You're playing till midnight. And then the fair people, they were the festival people. It wasn't a fair. I don't remember what it was called. Anyway, they came up and they're like, "We're really sorry. We're really, really sorry. We're going to go ahead and pay you the whole thing." And I'm like, "Well, I know you're going to pay us the whole thing."
Yeah.
And, anyway, and that was the last. We obviously never played it again, but I don't know how long it was. It probably wasn't. They probably didn't have it very much longer after that because of all the issues. And anyway,
I mean,
but people. I mean, so that happened. Even it's been happening for a long time.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. It just kind of. That's kind of fun, kind of same kind of story. So we're playing in Chicago. In a nightclub, big nightclub up there. It was a lot of fun. We used to play that a lot. Taking a break. I look up on stage. Here's dudes standing on stage looking at our, picking up our guitars. And I'm like, here we go again. I mean, flashback. Just, I'm like, so I go up to the stage and I walk up on stage and I'm like, "Fellas, how can I help you?" And they turn around and it's the guys from Garth's band.
Oh.
And I'm like,
"Hey, you want to play this guitar?"
Absolutely. I said, "We're getting ready to do a set. You guys want to?" And they were like, Can we play though?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So Mike Palmer sits down at the drums. Jimmy Mattingly, the fiddle player, he's playing Frank, our old piano player, Frank Brown, played piano and fiddle. He grabs Frank's fiddle, started fiddling around on that. Frank sits down at the piano. James Gardner was Garth's guitar player. He's had our guitar player's guitar on and everything. So we were like, "This is awesome." And they were like, "Can we just play standard country stuff, dude?" I'm like, "Absolutely." Haggard and Jones.
Baton Rouge, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we did. Oh, we did. Absolutely did a bunch of Garth stuff.
It's funny.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, but I have pictures of it somewhere. People were freaking out because Garth was in town. He was at the Rosemont Horizon there in Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And so we went Thursday night show. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So we went to the Thursday night show. We got tickets from the bar and everything. It was a great place, good people and everything. Anyway, so we go Thursday night, watch Garth's show, and then we come back, play Friday and Saturday. And Saturday night after their show ended, they came out to the bar and played with us, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool story. But anyway, so yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, bucket list change, things change. I'm sure we'll change them. I'm sure your bucket list may change, a few things here and there. You'll get to knock some of those things off maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows? Maybe not.
I tried running yesterday.
Did you? How'd that go? Not good.
Wasn't good.
Wasn't? No.
Was not good.
I gotta say, it's going on. By the end of the month, it'll be 2 months. Mm-hmm. End of this month, or just a little over 2 months. I've been working out, and oh my god, I wish I would have stayed. And I'm sure most people feel this way. I wish I would have stayed with working out when I worked out.
Yeah,
even if it was just maybe 2-3 times a week, just something, just being
something.
active. Yeah. More than I was, and
when you get out of it, man, it's so hard to get back.
And not doing it for, let's say, 20 years.
Yeah.
And then you start doing it again, you're like, oh my God. My joints feel like they're going to pop. I mean, my elbows feel like they're going to pop off my body most of the time, my shoulders, my back. It's just like, golly, it's terrible. And Hayden, I'm working out with Hayden, and he's so passive aggressive with everything. Dad. All right, how many we got, Hayden? We're going to do 12 of these. 12 reps. 12 reps. And he'll go, okay, if you can't get 12, get as many as you can. Or try I'm going to do 35-pound dumbbells on this.
Try to keep up the best you can.
Yeah, and it's I'm going to do 35-pound dumbbells on this exercise, Hayden. I mean, if 35 is all you think you're going to be able to get.
Yeah, I got to love that.
You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of just, yeah, he's kind of a bully in there.
Yeah.
But anyway, the hardest part for me still right now is just it's not going, because I don't mind going now. It's kind of a thing. It's a routine now. So I'm kind of getting into the routine of going. Sure. But when I get there, I realize what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, God, what am I doing here?
I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here.
Oh, my mom. You know what I mean? It's like, so I'm trying to find something like a pre-workout kind of thing that I can take. I've taken a pre-workout before that made me itch real bad, and I don't want that. I want something to give me a little energy, make me feel a little better when I'm just getting started working out.
Yeah.
Once I'm doing, once I'm actually working out, I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's just getting going. It's just that first initial lift that you're in the whatever exercise we're doing. We do these dumb push-ups, these try something push-ups where you do a normal push-up.
Yeah.
And then you elevate your feet and do push-ups, and then you turn the other way, and so you're like doing an incline push-up.
Yeah.
And it's to failure every set.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever. And after a while, you go 15 or 20 push-ups, you're like, okay. Then you put your feet up, and you're like, oh, that's a little harder, you know? And I'm like, oh, you can barely get 15 of them. Then you turn around and you're trying to do it. And I'm like, I'm just trying not to hit my face on that thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, I don't know, dude. Anyway, so it is what it is.
I've been doing some like crunches and planks and stuff like that. And I guess it's paying off a little bit. I went and took a shower last night and came out and had like gym shorts on or whatever, no shirt. And I was walked by my girlfriend. She goes, wow, what a waste.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Dad jokes.
There it was. I tried to sneak it in there one way or the other.
That was good. It was good. I liked what you did there.
It flowed.
I liked what you did. Started out with the working out, and yeah, I get it. I mean, that's like I was really mad the other day. I came home. I was all excited and I went to the doctor. I'm 47. I'm like, I got to go to the doctor and get checked up. And in fact, tomorrow I give blood. I got to do a blood thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
To make sure everything's still good. My blood pressure was perfect, and she's like, "You're healthy, whatever." I gotta get a colonoscopy done. That's exciting.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, no, that's not until like September, so I'm good with that. Waiting as long as I can. But anyway, she's like, "Yeah, good news for you. You used to have to wait till you're 50 to get one, but now they changed it, so you can get one now." And I'm like, "Oh, yay,
who's they?
Yay, me.
Who's they? I'd like to talk to them.
We need to talk to they. I want to talk to they." But anyway, so I go in, and she gives me this whole thing, and I come in, and I'm like, Ashley was there, and she, I was like, "Honey, did you hear that?" She said, "I'm a beast." And Ashley started giggling, and I was like, "What?" I took off my shirt. I'm like, "Check it out. I'm flexing for her." I'm like, "I'm a beast." She's like, "No, honey." She said, "You're obese."
Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Dad jokes. Dad jokes.
Bow. Anyway, all right. That's about all the time we have today.
Oh, good. Well, good grief.
Well, anyway. All right. Well, listen, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channels and follow us on all our socials. What else? Oh, leave a review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts.
Absolutely.
Please. And I actually talked to a few guys that were listening. They were listening and they love it. And I said, man, leave us a review, leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about or whatever. So, so hopefully we'll start getting some of that in and everything.
Yeah.
Keep on keeping on.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next time.
Ain't this a sweet life?
Hey, guys, thanks for listening. Want to ask a question for a future episode? Well, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter with hashtag SweetLifePodcast. And be sure to give us a 5-star rating and hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to stay up to date on the latest news and information for the Sweet Life Podcast. And we'll see you next time.